fallacy is just to write something off just because, right? Because of what we do or do not like the person. So it also goes the other way, right? We can't just accept something because we like the person, right? Or because we, respect them or something like this. That's equally as fallacious, right? So we have to have good reasons no matter what, whether we're accepting or rejecting, right? Those biases can go in both ways. I'm quarter British, and I like all things pretty good. So yeah, good. I don't know. I was reaching there. Okay. Other question. When people have preferences that exclude traits of racial groups or the group as a whole, is it really considered a preference, or is it considered racism, something more complex? Yeah, so this is again really tricky, right? Because on the one hand, it seems like people should be allowed to have preferences, and maybe we think like beliefs, maybe those are things that we ought not to be as critical about, right? Or that ought not to be judged. But clearly there are ramifications for this, not just in terms of like who we date, although sexual preferences tend to be divided up amongst racial groups, right? Racial and ethnic groups tend to be attracted to people of the same or similar appearance. That's like the low stakes version of this, although that itself, there's throughout history, it's been life or death, right? If you break that norm. But there are other sides of this where it's really problematic. So if any of you are going into, say, criminal justice, right, you're gonna learn about all the problems with eyewitness testimony and all types of evidence, that DNA evidence, even, right, fingerprint, and all types of things that we thought were pretty certain are totally inductive and in fact way less strong, right, way weaker than we thought they were. And then when you throw in the racial biases on top of that, it just makes it awful. Like, it's so much injustice, right? And so when we say that we have, if we're trying to say, is a preference racist or not, right, we have to, I think the responsible thing would be to look at the consequence of that, right? Is that preference reinforcing harmful norms in society, right? So if you're like, oh, well, I don't have a preference, for white people, but I only find people attractive who have traditionally white characteristics, right? That is problematic, right? Because it is enforcing this idea that anyone who looks other than, right, is going to be considered less attractive, right? So there are ways in which it can border on the problematic, the discriminatory, not inclusive. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone has to be attracted to everyone, right? But I don't know. I mean, maybe the pansexual is the most enlightened person, right? That they just look beyond any of those categories and are just able to see individuals and be attracted to them or not. Yeah, interesting.